Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. There is a verse in one of the Upanishads called the Chandogya Upanishad, where it speaks about the earth is meditating, as it were. The mountains and the skies and the oceans and the rivers are meditating, as it were. Everything is meditating, as it were. Those who can take a portion of this great meditation become meditators. We are today commencing on meditation skills for meditators. And like the previous series of classes, this also will consist of 10 classes. These are practices or skills that are fine-tuned, where one can use these skills to integrate them into what you are already practicing or what you have already learned. So we go step by step. I'll give you the introduction, followed by the practice, and then we leave some time for QA. We'd like you to type in your questions towards the end. The word yoga, one of the meanings of the word yoga in English is to yoke. In the word form, of course, verb form, is to yoke, to join, to harness. It's a union of the individual soul and the Supreme Soul. So this is actually the heart of all yoga, what it is to yoke. But long before we can even yoke the individual soul with the Supreme Soul, there are certain other stages that we need to look at. The first is, remember that we are in a kind of a state where one needs a little integration. Imagine, just imagine, we have a horse that's weak, that's ill and tired, and we are yoking it, harnessing it to a cart. It's not going to pull that cart or that carriage. So the first thing that happens is we must be able to yoke the body to health, because our whole existence depends on our body. We feel the body, we are the body. And as the body becomes healthy, how does one become healthy? Well, the posture itself is an indication of health. Your diet, your lifestyle, your breathing pattern will indicate how you sit. And so we need to take this into account. First, unhealthy things will have to be given up so that the posture becomes firm, and that posture indicates your state of health. It's a state of balance. So after we have sat down, you don't need to do any special exercises. Just try to sit down straight and don't waste your energy now trying to correct yourself into a straight posture. Sit down comfortably. Your state of mind will straighten the posture automatically. So after you have sat down, this body has to be yoked to the prana. Now, what is the prana? These are the vital energies, the vital forces that are running right through our bodies. Now they are kind of in a state of disturbance or a disintegration. They do not flow into a kind of a smooth loop around us. So when the body is yoked to the prana, what happens is, as the prana that's now rhythmic in your body, initially you will feel the body for a while. But after that, you will feel your prana, your vital force, your life force more than the body. So you will start feeling yourself as the prana while meditating. Yes. Then you can understand that your body has now been yoked to the life forces within you. You will not feel the body as meditation becomes deeper. And as your prana, you feel the prana, what happens is you have to yoke it now to the mind. The mind has got various layers. Now these various layers all will have to be integrated. You will start feeling yourself as the mind. As simple as that. Now this mind is then yoked to the intellect. What happens is, at that point, we have the intellect as steady. It's extremely steady. And as the intellect becomes steady, you feel that intellect expanding. So after you start feeling yourself as the mind, and the mind that has been integrated, it becomes, you feel yourself as the intellect. It's intelligence. You are actually suffused with the light of intelligence. Well, in the picture you can see just the light in the head, but that light is all over you. You will feel yourself as that light of knowledge, the light of intelligence. After that, you yoke that intellect to the individual consciousness. This individual consciousness is, as it were, kind of you in the real sense of the term. You will see that you are that consciousness which is even beyond intelligence. It is the light of that consciousness is reflected through the intelligence. And as you feel yourself as an individual consciousness, as an individual soul, then what happens is you yoke this individual consciousness to the universal consciousness or supreme soul, supreme consciousness. This is the goal of yoga. It's as simple as that. It is yoking yourself from the lowest, from the body to the prana, from prana to the mind to the intellect, from the intellect to the individual consciousness, and from the individual consciousness right up to the universal consciousness. This, when you reach this state, you are a perfect yogi. At the level of individual consciousness, you are now aware of yourself as conscious. You feel yourself as consciousness. So the whole mechanism has to be done in a way that, as I say, lift yourself by yourself, as the Bhagavad Gita says, Uddhared Atmanatmanam. One should lift ourselves by ourselves. You have to yoke the lower to the higher and higher and higher and higher. And slowly we arrive at this state. It is also described as taking the energy from the Mooladhara, the lowest, you can say, center of consciousness, to the Swadhisthana, from the Swadhisthana to the Manipura, from the Manipura to the Anahata, from the Anahata to the Vishuddha, from the Vishuddha to the Agnya, and from the Agnya to the Sahasrara. It's also described like that. It is a kind of a traveling up. You have to lift yourself. You have to lift yourself. How? Well, you always understand that what you yoke, the previous stage of yours, becomes, you can see, yoked to the next stage. And what happens is, this state, the prana state, has to be stronger in order to lift itself up to the next stage, to the mind. And then the mind has to be kind of strong enough, and then it has to be yoked to the intellect, and then the intellect has to be firm, steady, unwavering, and has to be yoked to the individual consciousness. This is the whole, you can say, process of yoga. It has been described in 1,000 ways in 1,000 books on yoga. So the word yoga itself gives us the insight into what actually is the methodology. When we talk about ourselves as the body, yes, and we also feel ourselves as the breath, the life force, the vital force. Well, you are that. So you hook one with the other and slowly raise yourself. You also feel yourself as the mind. But right now, all these things are so mixed up. You feel yourself as the mind, you feel your vital energy, you feel yourself as the body. As you keep on practicing, you will feel yourself, like I said, first as the body, then as that will slowly diminish, you will feel yourself as the vital forces. Yes, when you sit down, you will feel yourself only as a vital force. Raise yourself up higher, you will feel yourself as just a mind. And then higher up, the intellect, buddhi, higher up, the individual consciousness. So when you sit down, your experience will be what has been described. If you feel, when you sit down to meditate, you feel yourself as a body, you will now have to yoke it to your breath. That is the idea. Now, so much for the introduction. This is clear. We will start the practice. I want you all to join me, because what happens is, it's not a kind of a one way, you can say. It's an interaction. I'll speak and you'll listen. Now, I want you to participate in this. The first stage is the body. When you close your eyes, you feel yourself at the body. Try to sit down straight. Surrounds that the forces in your body will start becoming equalized. And that is very important. So as the body is still, you will feel less of it. After a while, don't make an effort to straighten it. When you sit down straight and hold it. That's all. After that, we take the next step. We yoke our body to the vital forces, the breath. Now, most of our vital forces are not integrated, and that's the reason why we have this problem, that it's not strong enough to pull the body consciousness up. So what we do is we yoke the inhalation and the exhalation. We'll start with this. Inhale 5 seconds and exhale 5 seconds, please. What we are doing now is integrating the inhalation with the exhalation. It's called Rechaka and Puraka. Pull in and exhale out. Now both these have to be equalized, both has to be balanced. Then the yoking takes place. We'll do it 2 more times, please. Now we need to yoke it to the stoppage of breath. So let's put it like this: 5 seconds of inhalation, 5 seconds of exhalation, and stopping the breath for 5 seconds. Start now. So it is 5 seconds or 7 seconds or 10 seconds, whatever your capacity is. You breathe in, you breathe out, and hold the breath outside. So 5 seconds breathe in, 5 seconds exhale, and 5 seconds hold your breath out. This is the way to yoke the body to the breath, which is integrated. As you keep on doing it, and then after you stop, then what happens is you will feel yourself as the breath in the body, the energy in the body, nothing else. You will feel a kind of a lift, a buoyancy there. Because all the 5 pranas, prana, apana, vyana, udana, and samana, all that takes the functions of the respiration, metabolism, and digestion, etc. All these things are in a state of balance. And as they become balanced, these pranas, they keep on expanding. And as it becomes expanded, you feel a kind of a lift. That's why you'll feel the prana more than the body. After this is done, we need to now yoke the, the prana experience to the mind. Now, as the mind has so many thoughts, we'll start with a simple exercise. There are two things that disturb meditation, and that is old memories and old emotions, thoughts and emotions. Okay, close your eyes, please. And as you close your eyes, when a thought comes in, yoke it to another better thought. If a bad thought comes in, yoke it to a good thought. If a good thought comes in, yoke it to a better thought. Like you are the child of God, you are the Atman, etc. Whatever thought arises in your mind, yoke it to another thought. You can yoke it with a mantra. You can yoke it with the picture of God. So as these thoughts arise one after another, you are yoking them with something else. You are in a way neutralizing them. And as they get neutralized, they do not disturb you. And this is a long process at times. You yoke one thought with the other. Exactly opposite as what is called in the yoga as pratipaksha bhavana. A contrary thought has to be brought in about, if any thought, a thought about you being jealous comes in, bring the thought of love. If the thought of anger comes in, bring the thought of unselfishness, etc. This is how you lock one thought with the other. You yoke it because you are going to need that strength, that energy which is already in that thought. But now it has lost its poison. The second is, every thought that comes out from you, never get frightened, never wince, never grimace, never have any regrets. Let the thought come in, let a thought arise, and yoke it with the picture of God, with the mantra, or with just simply with another thought, contrary thought. Thought of love, a thought of joy, where the thoughts of pain, abuse, and other thoughts come in. These are disturbing thoughts. They have to be countered with opposite thoughts. This is how you keep on yoking them. And as these thoughts are being yoked with their counterpart, with something better, they will also sink down in the subconsciousness, but now they are not going to harm you. If thoughts of pain and jealousy do come, they will come up, they will rise along with the thought of God or the mantra or something else. So you are now becoming free from those subconscious thoughts. So your pre-conscious, conditioned conscious, subconscious, and the conscious all become integrated. After this, what you do is feel your mind being yoked to the intellect. How do you do it? Keep one thought in the mind, a predominant thought, or a symbol, or a picture, and focus on it. Let all the other disturbing thoughts, if they are, come and let them go. So you will feel yourself as simply as that particular thought. You become identified with that picture, you become identified with that mantra, sound of the mantra, or you become identified with the symbol. So how do you do that? You do it simply by closing your eyes, please. Now fix your gaze here on the chin, somewhere outside. Let both these eyes, as it were, look towards the point in your chin, on your chin, here outside. So this makes the eyeballs still. Now watch that space outside your chin and throat, please. Now, like we did it last time, use a flame. Visualize a flame there. The flame has to be sharp, distinct, and steady. Watch that flame in that space outside your throat. Now place that flame exactly in the center of your heart. Now gaze at it steadily. Gaze at that flame, sharp, distinct flame, steadily, unwaveringly. Next you do is feel the light of that flame filling you. You can stop now, please. Take a long deep breath and open your eyes. This is the way you actually practice the yoking yoga. So from the lowest to the highest, slowly go on. We will take a little of this practice in next class, which will be on Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, local time, of course, Pacific time. But this is important, as you can see that when you're yoking one thought with the other, one emotion with the other, the good with the bad, this might take a few days, a few months also, depends on what thoughts are rising. But this is the surest, most effective and efficient way to control your mind and control everything. So you're yoking one thought and one emotion with the other. You're yoking your body with your breath, and the breath with the mind, and the mind with your intelligence, and intelligence with the individual consciousness. And at this point, you are in a way almost free. Now the next stage will be yoking that individual consciousness with that supreme or universal consciousness. Then you become a yogi or yogini. This is the state of yoga. you have completely yoked the individual soul with the Supreme Soul. We stop here for a few questions we have. And as I mentioned, in the next class on Saturday, we will take a little of this yoking practice and give another, you can say, skill for you to practice. So these skills will be for you to integrate in your current practices if you are doing it. If you have not begun practicing meditation, you can use these skills from the basic. This will sharpen your current practices and make it very powerful. So we are going to dwell only on the practical side of yoga. We have enough of theory. So if you have any clarifications required, please put in your question and we will answer them.
Namaste. How to get the flame identified with Ishta?
You can feel when you visualize the Ishta, superimpose that flame on the heart of the Ishta. That will be appropriate. I used to do it many years ago. So I used to meditate on my Ishta and also imagine that his soul, the Supreme Soul, is like a flame in the center of his chest. So that's a very good question, and it will be very effective, of course.
Is it important to have eyes closed?
You can keep your eyes half closed. What happens is there is a process called open-eyed meditation, which in one of these future classes we will take up. Open-eyed meditation and also something called a Trataka. We will do that. What happens is when you close your eyelids, most of this visual stimulus, visual sensations that come in is blocked. And so what happens, the brain is kind of free from this images that are coming in. Now what happens is when you keep your eyes totally closed, you might fall asleep. When meditation becomes actually very deep, your eyes which have closed will slightly open. So if you're comfortable with keeping your eyes half open, keep it, but they should be looking down here at the space outside you, not looking about here. You don't let your eyeballs shift out. So the idea is to reduce the sensations that are coming in. But what happens in many people, when the external sensations are reduced, the internal memories start coming out. So in order to balance both, I would suggest you keep your eyes half closed. And as you get absorbed in your practice, then it doesn't matter whether your eyes are half closed or fully closed. Generally, in yoga, they ask us to keep our eyes half closed. In the tantras, they ask us to keep our eyes fully closed. Okay? Do what is comfortable for you.
When and how much breathing practice are advised? When and how much?
The breathing practices should be done in the early morning or in the mornings and in the evenings. It has to be done also, you can say, on an empty stomach. Don't do it on a full stomach. You can also practice it in the afternoon before food. and do it when there's no one around. You can do it if you're alone. If you have no choice, it doesn't matter. But there's other practices also are told to do it at midnight, in the middle of the night or rather. But then remember, your stomach should be empty. You should not feel sleepy. You should also have a firm posture while doing those breathing exercises. Okay.
Pranam, I have been meditating for a few months, and when I try to concentrate on the space outside the chin, after a while my concentration goes back to the point between the eyebrows. I feel tingling between the eyebrows every time I meditate. Is it normal? How would I know I'm making progress?
In fact, I would suggest, as all these classes I've been suggesting also, all through, you start concentrating here in the center of your chest. And in one of our classes, we have shown, in case you want to concentrate on the bhru madhya, as the space between the eyes, you, as it were, step back. In one of our Gita classes, we had said, you, as it were, step back, and you look at this point here. At the same time, your physical eyes, your eyes here, should not move up here. Yoga or concentration is not trying to make you squint-eyed. I've seen many people trying to concentrate on the center of their eyebrows, and they sit down squint-eyed. No, that will in fact damage your eyes and damage your eyesight. If you want to concentrate, do it after a little practice, and you will know that you can concentrate on the center of your eyebrows with the eye of your mind, your mental eye. So what do? It's like you close your eyes, now where exactly are you stationed here? Where exactly do you feel yourself? Do you feel yourself at the center of your eyebrows or somewhere a little behind, in the center of your brain? Now from here, with your mind's eye, look at the point here between the eyebrows. So your eyes will be looking, as it were, downwards, and your mind's eye will be looking at the center of your brows. That is the process. Please don't sit down squint-eyed, like, No, that's not the way. Absolutely. So practice, a few months, yeah, it's good. Keep on a regular practice. Go from the lowest to the highest. Generally, we are advised to take up these meditations only in the last stages of yoga. We need to start from here. Once this door is open, then this door will be open, and then this door will be open automatically. So this is the most safest place, recommended by all the saints and all the sages, Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, all of them. Meditate on the heart. The heart is the ideal place.
Pranam Maharaj, is throbbing along the spine normal?
Well, in cases of spiritual development, you will feel a throbbing in the spine. And that throbbing will come actually in waves. If you're feeling comfortable with that, those waves running up your spine, it's okay. after a while they will disappear. The flow will become steady and you will not feel the throbbing. So yes, the throbbing, but it should not be the throbbing due to a wrong posture or something like that. Keep your spine steady and straight, and after that, if you feel the throbbing there, it is that spiritual energy that is rushing up. Good.
Pranam Swami, could you please suggest a method to strengthen my visualization of the flame?
Well, in one of our classes, the next class, not next, I think third or fourth, we will take the visualization of a flame. It's called a trataka. So what you do is watch a flame for now, watch a flame, external flame outside, light a candle, light a lamp or something like that outside, watch it and perfectly kind of understand its colors and its shape. This will help you fix that flame when you meditate.
When you say yoking the intellect to individual consciousness, what do you mean? How it is achieved?
Yes, because you will find that the intelligence also is mutable. You will sometimes feel the light increasing, sometimes the light decreasing, sometimes you feel dull, you feel tired, you feel you kind of, there's a brain fog, there's etc. But once you yoke this to the individual consciousness, it's all luminous. The luminosity fills you. And then you know the distinction. The luminosity does not diminish, it is steady, and it brings a tremendous joy. The joy that you feel inside it cannot be described. Then you know that you have yoked your intelligence to the individual consciousness.
The following up question is, how is it achieved?
How is it achieved? Yeah. So in our previous classes, we had talked about flow. We would refer to that. When you get into, there are three levels of the flow. The first level is the semi-flow. Then there's a flow, and then there's a higher flow, which is called, it's more like a trance-like. There's an action within an inaction. There's a flow within a non-flow. At that level of the higher flow, which is more like a trance, you will feel your whole being lifted up outside this body and outside this universe. You will see a consciousness flow and yet not flow. It's a beautiful feeling. So there you will get. So how do we get into it? Use the flame of the candle, visualize, or the mantra, or the visualization of your Ishta, your Devta, or your chosen ideal, or a picture of God. The focus has to be unwavering, one-pointed, and then it becomes deeper and deeper and more subtle and subtle. Then you know you have broken through that gate and reached on the other side.
So the last question for today. During meditation, I try to watch my breath. Can I chant a mantra at the same time?
Oh yes, you can. Harmonize the mantra with your breath. As it keeps on, then switch over to the meaning of the mantra. Leave your breath away. That is one form of yoking. Slowly, slowly, slowly. But for now, you harmonize your mantra with your breath. Slowly. And as the mantra will slowly have a different rhythm, your breath has a different rhythm, the mantra will detach from that rhythm of the breath and get inside more and more. Okay. We stop here for today. We'll see you next Saturday in the next class of this series, Meditation Skills for Meditators. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.